close to a month after revoking its military cooperation agreements with the United States, Niger has just sent a subtle warning to the United States military that, as its troops prepare to leave Niger territory, they should not think about coming back later while disguised as birds, or rather by deploying their spy drones to Niger airspace with whatever motives, going into the future. That, should they deploy even their high-altitude spy drones to Niger airspace, for whatever reason, then they should be ready to face the consequences that will ensue, that is, seeing their expensive air vectors being shot down by the Nigerian army, which will be well equipped to do so. This is going by Niger's latest military move that has just shocked the world, and a move that we are here to not only show you, but also explain to you how it will change the game in the Sahel region for good. Since coming into power on July 26, 2023, Niger's National Council for the Safeguarding of the Homeland, under the leadership of Brigadier General Abdourahmane Chiani, has embarked on a new path that has seen it diversify its partners in various fields as it seeks to assert its sovereignty. It is in this spirit that Brigadier General Abdourahmane Chiani had a telephone conversation on March 26, 2024, that is 10 days after revoking the agreements that gave the Americans legality to operate on Nigerian territory, with his Russian counterpart, President Vladimir Putin, and they had a conversation on the strengthening of multi-sectoral and global strategic cooperation between Russia and Niger. And out of this conversation, that also touched in great detail on the current security threats in the Sahel region, and particularly those which Niger has been facing. Russia, on the Wednesday of April 10, 2024, supplied Niger with an air defense system that will be essential for the country's self-defense and airspace protection. The air defense system came in parts, while aboard an Ilyushin Il-76, which is a Russian military carrier plane, and accompanying them were military instructors from the Russian Ministry of Defense, who had been deployed to train the Nigerian army on how to use the military equipment. And in their brief address to the media as they were waiting for the system to be offloaded from the carrier into the Nigerian military trucks that had shown up at the airport, this is what the Russians had to say. This is equipment for different military specialties. We are here to develop military cooperation between Russia and Niger. It is therefore a matter of Niger, just like the Russian Federation, to equip itself and install an anti-aircraft defense system capable of ensuring total control of the airspace, and it's reported by Nigerian media outlets that the Russian instructors that had accompanied the military consignment were 100. The arrival of Russian air defense and instructors follows Niger's decision to revoke its military agreements with the United States on the said March 16, 2024, agreements that had allowed Pentagon personnel to operate on Niger soil out of 2 bases, including a drone base it built at Agadez, at a cost of more than $100 million. Perhaps the arrival of the Russians was a clear indication by the junta that they have nothing to do with the Americans anymore, since the air base at Agadez was meant to provide the Nigerian military with air support in its war on violent extremist organizations in the Sahel, by deploying its unmanned aerial vehicles to scan the territory and relay intelligence on terrorists' hideouts. The same being an exercise that the military junta in Niamey has accused the United States military of being unwilling to wholeheartedly do over the years, even with the millions of dollars that Nigerian taxpayers pay to the United States each year for maintenance of the military base. So, going into the future, the defense system's presence within the Nigerian military will help offer adequate protection of military bases and ground forces in the field against all forms of flying threats, including low-flying cruise missiles from enemy militaries, or even from emasculated violent extremist organizations, now that Sahel terrorists have lately been adapting their mode of operation day and night. And as earlier mentioned, it is also a clear indication that Niger is sending a warning to the United States that once its troops have left, they should not even think of deploying their reconnaissance or spy drones to Niger airspace, with the aim of gathering intelligence to jeopardize Niger's national security, because the lethal air defense system will shoot those million-dollar drones down, just like how it will shoot down any aircrafts, helicopters, precision munitions, cruise missiles and other unmanned aerial vehicles that have trespassed to Nigerian airspace. It should be noted that Russia has numerous air defense systems that are in operation as of today, with some of them being used on the expansive Russian territory to provide 24/7 protection of its airspace against enemy penetration. It has also deployed other systems to Ukraine, where they are providing protection to their military hardware and personnel in the ongoing war with Ukraine. The current air defense systems in Russia come in a three-tier approach, which all allow the Russian military to create varying anti-access area denial zones that can be difficult to penetrate by enemy aircrafts, UAVs, munitions, or missiles. The highest tier of these defensive networks uses long-range defense systems like the S-200, S-300, and S-400, which all can provide air defense bubbles of potentially up to 800 kilometers in diameter, just like Israel's Iron Dome defense system. These zones are normally supplemented by the second-tier defense systems, which include medium-range systems like the 9K-37 Buk, as well as a number of its variants. This medium-range layer is intended to increase radar coverage within the air defense zone, and augment the more limited inventories of longer-range interceptor missiles. Then the third tier uses mobile short-range systems like the 9K-33 OSA and the S-125 Neva, to provide extra protection for key areas such as military bases. These third-tier systems, along with the highly mobile systems like the second-tier 9K-37 Buk, are often also attached to formations of ground forces in the field, and due to their vulnerability to low-flying threats such as cruise missiles, the first and second-layer defenses are often guarded by point defense systems like the Tor or Panzer S-1.
Работаем мы на зенитно-ракетном комплексе Тор-М2 и только, в принципе, на нем. Отличие основное от других комплексов – это высокая мобильность и высокая проходимость. Так как у нас гусеничная база, мы можем передвигаться по сложной местности, мы абсолютно не привязаны к какому-то рельефу. После произведения боевой работы, после пуска, мы можем оперативно поменять позицию. Зенитно-ракетный комплекс может работать абсолютно автономно, мы, повторяюсь, ни к чему не привязаны. Стрельбу на ходу мы можем вести. Также машина производит разведку воздушного пространства на 360. Мы видим цели на дальности 32 километра и высота начиная от 10 метров над уровнем земли. Работать одновременно можем по 4 целям, 4 ракетами. Если эта цель групповая, мы в состоянии отработать по групповой цели. Допустим, если летит пакет РСЗО, то 4 снаряда за один раз мы можем сбить. Доводилось работать по всему. Есть сбитые точки У, есть очень много сбитых ракет РСЗО, также большое количество беспилотников.
At the moment, we are not yet certain on which tier of the defense systems was supplied to Niger, but we hope that over the coming days, we will be able to find out, and enlighten you on the same. But in the meantime, if you found this video to be interesting, leave a comment on Niger and the Sahel region in general, and don't forget to subscribe before leaving, because more updates on what's happening in this region are coming.